Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Lorcana Set 8 is dropping next week and now's the perfect time to start brewing. In this video I'm gonna put together a bunch of deck ideas you can try as soon as the set goes live. These aren't all mine, I've pulled from a mix of creators like early theorycrafts and a few personal tweaks to show off what's possible with the new cards. Whenever you're looking to test something fun, spice up your local, or prep for early tournaments, there's a little something here for everyone. So let's dive into it. First list we have here is from Dikendio, who's currently also working at Ravensburger, working for Lorcana, and I think he has a really interesting list here with the new song, of course, and we have the new 2-cost Unink, which is like a bare necessity and a ramp at the same time. I think this card is really strong. I think it's like one of the best cards in the set. The only thing that is bad about the card is that it's fixed to Amber Sapphire, so you can just play it in this deck. But I think Dikendio found a really nice way to play this card, especially with the new song in New Orleans. And what the song says is that you are allowed to look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and if it's like a location that costs 6 or less, or a character that costs 6 or less, or even an item that costs 6 or less, you can play it out for free. And I think this is really strong, and I think Dikendio had the idea here for playing a lot of characters with 6 ink. For example, we have the Judy Hopps, we have Gaston, we have Kid Cloudkicker, of course we have the Tamator, and so on. So the idea is like to play like maybe on turn 1 you play a Kid Cloudkicker or a Bell, on turn 2 you start to ramp, on turn 3 you play like Prince Naveen, for example. I think that's the perfect line. Sing in New Orleans, get out maybe a Gaston. With Gaston you are already allowed to look at the next top 3 cards of your decks, and you can take one into your hand. I think if this combo goes through, it's like one of the best combos out there at the moment, and I think this list is really great, and definitely a list you should check out and maybe even play in the first week. The next deck in our list is Blue Steel from Hal Sweetie. If I trust anyone with the Kiwi deck, it's definitely him. I played him a few times and I have to say he's a really good player, and I think if someone knows this deck and how to pilot it and how to play it, I think he's like the perfect man. So let's go through this. Also, it says the work is still in progress, but I think the list definitely looks good. You have your like Robin Hood shift, of course. It's like definitely nothing new here, but we have 2 new cards we can play out. It's the Arthur, who is like a 6/6, costs 4, is inkable. Skip your turn's draw step, which is like pretty bad for you, but of course if you have like a 6/6 cost character out there who is like questing for free and you're playing a deck that tries to do a lot of tempo, I think this list and this card is definitely a way to go, especially if you can play like Alice. Then Quest Refer, protect him for 1 turn. This is definitely a card I wouldn't sleep on. And of course the Desperate Plan. If you have no cards in your hand, draw until you have 3 cards in your hand. Otherwise, choose and discard any numbers of cards, then draw that many cards. With this card you can basically recycle your whole hand, and if you don't have any more cards in your hand, you can start like drawing 3 again and playing them out. So this is definitely a way, if you want to play Arthur, to like take this bad ability from him that skips your turn's draw step, and use it like as a secondary draw engine. Of course you also have the dog in here, think this is really interesting. Maybe even, I think even the Desperate Plan is better than the Dog. But the thing is, it's also a free cost unink. And yeah, I think Dog is still the better choice here. But with Desperate Plan, you have like a lot of utility, and even if you have like no cards in hand, this card is pretty strong. And even if you have cards in your hand, this card is still really good. Of course, he's also playing Free Fire the Cannons. I think that's for the other decks and for the new Steel Song that is coming, and we will go to that later on. But all in all, like a really solid list already. Was already the sets before, but now with the R4 and with the Desperate Plan, we have like new choices in the deck, and I think it's really interesting, and I'm happy to see how this one goes. Next deck in our list is from the Earlmeister. It's a Chernabog version we have here with the Lady and the Tramp. I mean, the list was already pretty good. Now we have all the lady, the new lady that plays out a character that costs 2 or less for free. And it's also inkable, which is really strong. Like most of the really good cards are the new Lady and Tramp cards for sure. And we also have like a new trap that gives an character of yours for a turn ward, which is also really strong. You also got the Shift Lady and the Shift Tramp this time. The Shift Lady we already had, but the Shift Tramp is also really strong and gives you even more card draw. And the cool thing you can do here is basically play out all your characters, maybe like of course also the Tramp Shift, maybe play the Cricky out, start trading the board, and you already draw like a lot of it. So this is really interesting. The only thing I see here is like still the draw engine is like really hard. Of course you got the Tramp now, but I don't know if it will be enough. But one thing is for sure, this deck does a lot of pressure, and I think it's the deck to beat in week 1. We already saw like Steel Song has a lot of problems against this deck because it's has all those 0-4 characters, 0-3 characters. Also the new Tramp that also like gets a lot of lore. When you play a character, the lady gets like 1 strength, and if she has like 3 strength or more, she quests for +2. So you can basically play her out, for example, and play out like in Cricky on turn 5, and she already quests for +2, which is really strong. And yeah, all in all, this looks like really solid. Also the Kid Cloud Kicker is a perfect tech for the free cost Ursula, which could remove some of those characters. And I gotta say, I think this will be week 1 the deck to beat, and it's definitely a list I would try in week 1. Next up, we have a green-blue list, which I played a lot in set 6. I didn't play it a lot in set 7, but the idea here is like to bounce your opponent's characters and to discard him. So here you can see a few new cards. You can see the Basil, who when he's played out, you can send a character back to the opponent's hand. You have the new Sing Together that removes 2 characters with 3 strength or less. That's like 1 more strength than the Muses does. And of course, if you have like a Muses out, you sing this, you can remove up to 3 characters, which is really strong. And your goal is like to aim for bouncing your opponent's cards all the time. As you can see, you have Mother Knows Best, you have We Don't Talk About Bruno, you have You're Welcome, you have a lot of cards that just bounces characters back to the hand or the deck, and then you like play Bend to My Will and remove the whole hand. And yeah, I think this list got a good amount of support with those 2 new cards. The weakness of it is of course like very aggressive decks. And if you're not, and of course like a Pete, the free cost Pete is still a killer for this deck. But I think with like that new sync together, you have like a better option to remove those early threats. For example, like a Smee or something like this, you can just bounce them back to their hand, which is really good. And all in all, I gotta say that this list is really underrated. You should definitely try it out. It's really hard to pilot, and yeah, definitely a list I would also play like in week 1 or maybe even week 2. And yeah, let's go to the next one. Next up, we have one of my favorite decks. It's Green Steel Discard, and what can I say? I think this will be the time where Green Steel Discard comes back to the original strength it had. We had like a lot of sets where we didn't have like a lot of discard support, and like we got like support for matchups we already won. But with this list, we got like a whole new ways to win the game, especially with that new sync together Beyond the Horizon. That is basically like a mini whole new world, and it also allows you to like not remove your own hand or just your opponent's hand. So if you have like a 3-cost Ursula and a Prince John out and you sing this song twice, you draw like legitimately like 6 cards from it with the Prince John too. And in the 6 card you will definitely draw like some discard if it's a Sun Chill, a Hypnotize or a Chip. It doesn't matter, it just matters that you are like able to remove your opponent's hand really easily 1 turn later. I think this deck is really good. You also got like a new 4-cost character that removes a card from your opponent's hand, so you're like not trying to like win the board and win the hand size. You can now do both with it. I know 3-2 doesn't look like really good, but the thing here is it doesn't really matter how much strength and how much defense he has. It just matters that he is able to remove a few objects, to remove a few characters, and also to sing specific songs, for example Strength or even the Let the Storm Rage On. And of course I think this list will be really good at the beginning. Of course Steel Song has also this option, but I think with Green Steel this card is definitely the way to go. Of course you can also like play Beyond the Horizon 3 or 4 times. I would definitely try it like 3 times at the start and then decide if I will play it 4 times or 2 times. I would also like maybe put the Muses to 3. And as you can see, Hypnotize and Dale is like still experimenting about it. Maybe I will play 4 Hypnotize again. I will just try it out in the first week. And yeah, definitely a deck that has a lot of potential at this set. Next deck in our list is Lemon Lime, and there is not much new stuff here. We got the Tramp here, of course. We know the drill. You try to get that sync together, you try to get that Kida out. But we have a new song that is really interesting. It's like also the song we're playing in Green Blue. And it allows you to remove 2 characters with 3 or less strength to their opponent's hand. You can also play like Paint the Roses Red like 3 times, of course, now, because you have this song. But I think with this sync together you already have like a better chance to win games, and you have like a better chance to like stall games and to secure the victory faster with it. And yeah, there's nothing much new in this Lemon Lime discard deck. Just like this new sync together, definitely you should try it out. I think it's really good, and I think it helps you to win the games, like against aggressive decks, for example. And yeah, definitely a card I would check out. Maybe I would play like Paint the Roses Black 2 or 3 times, maybe remove some bare necessities. Just try it out like I'm pretty sure that this Paint the Roses Black and this one works really great together. Last deck in our list is Steel Song. As you can see, let's make it short. You play Cinderella turn 1, you play Ursula or Troubadour in turn 2, and then you play Beyond the Horizons. Or like play Ariel, search for Beyond the Horizons, take it to your hand, play out the song. Your opponent has 3 cards left in his hand, which is pretty bad. You can also recycle your hand too if you don't have the 4th card you need. It's You Have Forgotten Me. If you don't have this card in your hand, you can recycle your hand to get the card. If you have the card, you don't have to recycle yourself. And on turn 4, you're like discarding him 2 more cards from his hand. This looks like really strong. It's really interesting that Steel Song can now go to the discard way. That's why I'm also playing like 2 Bare Necessities. If your opponent is also playing Steel Song and trying to remove your Cindy's and your 4-cost singers, like 2-cost 4 singers. And yeah, like the key here is like with Bare Necessities to remove like early threats like Fire the Cannons or something like this that just likes to try to threaten your game plan. Of course, the rest stays the same. You can also like remove maybe the Ursula and play like 4 Smees if you want to. This is like a list I'm still testing, but I think this list is really solid. You have like a lot of potential to like just lock out your opponent in the like first 3 rounds, because if he plays too much out, you're just like removing it by Let the Storm, by Strength of Raging Fire, by Zeus. And if he doesn't play anything out, you just play Beyond the Horizon and remove his whole hand. And the thing here is why it's better than Whole New World in some situations, because you don't want to give your opponent more cards in your hand. So with this, you are like really good to go. And yeah, I hope you guys liked the video, and leave a like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments what's your favorite deck in the new set. Hope to see you guys soon. Bye!